good morning. Today we're going to learn about word choice, tone, and meaning. And we're going to explore language in Romeo and Juliet to go over word choice, tone, and meaning. Has anyone read Romeo and Juliet before? Yeah. Okay. Well, it's Shakespeare, so it's like old language. Okay, so the standard we're working on is determining the meaning of words and phrases in a text, analyzing the impact of word choices and meaning in tone, okay? So the objective of this lesson is that you will improve reading fluency, comprehension by analyzing the meaning of words and context and evaluating word choice impact, okay? So how the words impact the story. Okay, so have you ever read something and instantly felt tension, sadness, or excitement from reading a story or reading like a text message maybe? It doesn't have to be a story, just from the words that you read. So like you're instantly impacted by what the words are, right? Okay, so authors use word choice when they're writing to create mood, tone, and meaning. So the words they pick, they pick those specifically to portray what they're trying to say. All right, does anyone know what fluency, tone, connotation, denotation, and diction, does anyone know what those words mean? Dawson? Which one do you know?
Tone.
Tone? What does that mean?
Well, the way those force of the accent.
Right. Do you know any of these words? Definition? No? Taylor? You kind of know what those mean. We're going to go over the meanings. Alright, so connotation is an idea or feeling that a word invokes in addition to its literal meaning. So like how you feel when you say that word or how it makes you feel. Fluency is the ability to express oneself easily. Tone is the general character or attitude of a place, piece of writing, or situation. So like Dawson said, like an action. Denotation is the literal or primary meaning of the word in contrast to the meanings. So that's opposite of connotation because it's both, but denotation is the literal meaning, okay? And then diction is the choice and use of words and phrases in a speech or writing, okay? Does that make sense? Okay, so we defined a few terms. We're going to read a short paragraph reading, and we're going to talk about how word choice changes the tone of the story. Alright, so this is an excerpt of Romeo and Juliet. So it says, "Oh, she doth teach the torches to burn bright. It seems she hangs upon the cheek of night as a rich jewel in an Ethiopia's ear, beauty too rich for use, for earth too dear." So Shakespeare kind of talks in this like old language that like isn't modern. It's like the old-timey old-timey language. So, is there any words in this that you don't know? Okay. Anybody else? Any words that you don't recognize? Any any figurative language that you see, like metaphors, similes, personification? Rich as a jewel, right? So that would be which one? Simile? Because it's comparing, right? Alright, so there's two pieces of figurative language. So the first one's a metaphor. So it says, "Oh, she doth teach the torches to burn bright." This metaphor exaggerates Juliet's beauty. As she's so radiant, she torches the light to shine, right? She's like the brightness of it. So she doesn't actually torch anything, right? But she's so pretty that's what they say. So based on this figurative language, do you think the tone of this is admiring or sarcastic? Sarcastic. So what else? Anybody else have any other opinions? Admiring? Okay, so it's admiring because the author is like, oh my gosh, she's so pretty, like she could burn something with how pretty she is, right? Alright, the second one is beauty too rich for use, for earth too dear. So which one do you think that is? Does it have like or as in it?
Mm-hmm.
No. So would it be a simile?
Metaphor.
Metaphor? Okay. So it suggests Juliet's beauty is not meant for the real world, almost otherworldly, right? Or divine. Do you know what divine means? Okay. Do you think that this tone of this one is aggressive or amazed? Amazed. Anybody else? Agree with? Anybody else? Alright, this one is amazed because it's like admiring and amazed. It's like, wow, this person's so really pretty. They're talking about Juliet. Nailed it. Alright. Okay, so what you guys are gonna do is you're going to pick 3 words from the one we just talked about, and you're gonna use context clues or a dictionary to look up those words. So you draw off this one which you didn't know. So you're gonna look up the dictionary word, and then you're going to answer these 3 questions. So you'll need a piece of paper. You're gonna answer what do these 3 words that you look up mean in the context. Okay, figure them right down, okay? So what do they mean in the context of the little excerpt? Why do you think Shakespeare chose these words in the little paragraph that we read, okay? And then how do they affect the tone of the passage? Okay, so we're gonna go over this paragraph, okay? So we're gonna pick 3 words first. So go ahead and get a piece of paper out and pencil, because you're gonna hand this to me at the end. Okay, I'll get you paper. Anybody need paper? Pencil? Let me get you a. Kids, you need your paper? You got some? You need pencil note? Okay.
Choose 3 words?
3 words.
I know almost all of them. Except for that.
So just do that one. Use that one. Need a pencil? Alright, if you know all of them, just pick one. Okay. Pick 1 word. Can I go back, or do you need to see it still? You know the words you're picking?
Mm-hmm. What are we doing?
You're gonna pick 3 words, and then you're gonna look up definitions. What do they mean in the context of the paragraph? Why do you think Shakespeare chose these words? And then how do they affect the tone? So if you were to read it, she do teach which was just birthright. What do you think that means?
Which one?
If you were to change the word, you would put the definition in the word and read it, what do you think it means?
It means. She does.
Her beauty is like making it right, right? Okay. So you're gonna write kind of what that means. Okay, well, after you write the definition, you're gonna write like what it means in the context. Okay,
That's it.
and then you're gonna put why did Shakespeare use that word? not necessarily that word, you think it affects the tone. So you're gonna put all that down, okay? Taylor, which ones do you not know? Dot. Definitely one. Who's, like Ethiopia?
Isn't that like a type of religion?
No, that's like a person. Look it up compared to, or in the context of Romeo and Juliet.
Isn't Ethiopia like a religion?
Ethiopian. Look up to see if that's what it means. In Romeo and Juliet. Justin, do you have all the words? So do you think that his word choice affects the tone of the story? Nancy, is there any words that you don't know? You recognize? The first one? Can you see it? You know what it is? You do? Okay. You know which ones do you?
I'm gonna take what one I wanted to do, like how he meant rich in this sentence.
Okay. Cause not like rich, but like,
Yeah.
right, and beauty. Okay. You got it?
The context.
So like, what does the word mean in the sentence? Okay, but like why? So, she teaches the torches to burn bright. Does she actually do that? No, so which figurative language is she talking about? Or is that kind of personifying her beauty? Okay, so just put that, okay?
Personifying beauty.
Okay, so why do you think Shakespeare chose the words, and then how do they affect the tone? Okay, those are the questions. What did you find? Was it like the culture? Okay. Do you think that knowing that changes the way you read it, the context? Okay. So to kind of go over what we talked about, we explored how authors use specific words, not just to tell a story, but to shape how we feel and understand what we're reading. So you practice figuring out word meanings using context clues and analyzing how just a few word choices can shift the entire tone of a passage. Okay? Lastly, I want you to, you can do it on the same piece of paper. Choose one word or phrase from your section. What does it mean in context, and how does it shape the tone of the passage? So basically, just again, summarize like what we did before, okay?
The same question.
Shakespeare chose this word because he is trying to explain how he told the girls. Okay, who's the girl? Okay. Personifying.
So I do this too?
Oh, you're good, that's good. Okay. you know the word?